Hey, you set? You set? You ready?
Yes, sir.
All righty. I'm going blank.
Please do.
I already got us all this other different word.
Hello, welcome to Clayton County Parks and Recreation Baseball Parent Orientation. Today is March 16th, 2022. Thank you all for joining us. The Clayton County mission statement. The mission of Clayton County Parks and Recreation Department is to foster leisure activities, pursuits, and experiences through the provision of a safe and well-maintained park system, comprehensive and affordable recreation programs and facilities to the residents of Clayton County. Once again, I want to say thank you and I welcome you all for joining us. Also, this is not only baseball orientation, it is baseball and softball orientation, where Clayton County strives to play the right way. I want to say that my name is Sequilla Logan. I am the coordinator of Panhandle Park. I want to give you an introduction of the other coordinators. You have Adele Bell, who is over Lovejoy Regional Park, Vince White, who is over Rex Park, Lloyd Gay, Mara Lake City Park, Willie Turnipseed, Jonesboro Parks, otherwise known as Rum Creek, and Donald Shockley, North Clayton, otherwise known as Flat Shoals Park. First things we're gonna go over are your registration fees.
Hello and welcome to Clayton County Baseball this year. Registration fees will include your uniform, jersey, pants, socks, hat, and belt, a picture package, participation trophy. Numbers will be included free, no charge. Each child should have their own helmet, gloves, bat, and cup. Softball uniform includes pants, jersey, belt, socks, and visor. Lovejoy coaches for softball will contact you no later than this weekend. Season will start April 21st for Lovejoy for softball, June through June 4th. Tournament will start June 7th and end June 13th. Softball games will be played Thursdays and Saturdays. Softball will have a 12-game schedule, which will include East Point, Forest Park, Jonesboro, Lovejoy, and Union City. Calendar events. Our first day of practice will begin next week, March 21st. Opening day will be the week of April 18th. Picture days will be scheduled through the parks. Tournament will begin on June 6th. The week of June 6th. Championship games will be on June 13th. Please make sure that all information on email and phone numbers are correct. Clayton County Parks, as well as your coaches, will contact you through email and through those phone numbers. So if it is not correct, please contact your coordinator or your coach to get that right information.
If you have any questions or that need to be answered, put it in the question and answer or the little chat box, and someone will answer those. Let me take this off for a second. I understand that the screen may be a little blurry. Let me see if I can clear that up right quick. All right, let's see if that cleared up the blurriness. Just a moment. Okay, I will go back to that slide later on, once we get done so that everybody can see what's on those slides. But we're gonna keep going for right now. We're gonna move on to the code of conduct. We expect our children to learn important life skills in a safe, positive, and fun environment at school. And the same must be true for youth sports. And we should also expect that the adult leadership of youth sports is competent, held accountable, and trained. This just means that you need to watch what you do and watch what you say when you're at the parks. Most of the time, your children will act according to how their parent and their coaches act. They take on the same behavior that they see done. So if you act accordingly, most of the time your children will act accordingly. Clayton County is a no smoking, no tobacco, no drinking, and no drugs on our facilities. So if we see anybody smoking, drinking, any of that, we will ask you to leave. If we can't get you to leave after then we will call 911 and have you removed. But we kindly ask that you do not do those things on our facilities. When you're at the game, when you're watching your child play, watch your language. And also what you say about someone else's child. You don't know if that child's parent or a family member is beside you, and you don't know the backlash that will come along with whatever you're saying. Even if that child is on your team or on another team, it still leaves room for an altercation that we do not want. Okay. Let's see. See, we're gonna watch a short video. If it stops. Nope, didn't let me. Hopefully it's gonna let our video play.
I know this. I'm the most animated coach that you've probably ever seen when my team's playing. I go watch my kids play. I don't say boo. I don't wave my arms. I don't try to coach my kids. With all due respect to most parents out there, I probably know more about basketball than most of them, okay? But I sit in the stands and I don't say a word. There's two guys refereeing a fourth grade game on a Sunday morning. What can they possibly be making? 20 bucks a game? I used to do that. I used to make $12 for 10 and under, 15 for 15 and under, and 17 or 18 bucks for high school age kids, okay? So on a Sunday morning, instead of being in church, those guys are out there trying to make a couple bucks to pay their bills, feed their families. Do you think they really care what fourth grade team wins? Do you really think that they like sat at home and said, I can't wait to officiate that game tomorrow because that one team, I can't wait to get that 10-year-old kid and embarrass them in front of people? Do you really think that's what they're doing? I don't try to tell my kid how they should play. You know what I told my two boys when they come ask me, Dad, why are you asking me, man? I didn't run your practice. Go talk to your coach. But don't talk about your coach in front of me, man. Because if you are, then you're not playing basketball. You don't understand why you didn't play better? Go talk to your coach. I'm not your coach. I'm your dad. Somebody disrespects you, then I'm here. If you fail, good. Deal with it. I'm going to help you get up. But don't come talk to me about coaching. I do this for a living, man. I'm not going to criticize a guy that's trying to help you. And then the other part. So that's the officials. Do you think those coaches coaching fourth grade kids are making any money? So there's someone that's giving of their personal time on a Sunday for free to help others people's children, yet we're going to have the adults in the stands yelling obscenities at the officials, criticizing every decision the coach makes, yelling at the kids like the kids, they're 10 years old, man. Like if they were LeBron James and Dwayne Wade playing in the NBA Finals, like they know how to handle their coach over here and their parent over here yelling at them. Then we wonder why kids get confused, man, why kids rebel, why kids don't know how to listen. How can you listen when you got so many voices in your head at the same time? You know what life teaches you? Shut things off. And that's the part that's frustrating to me. It's if someone wants to be so animated when there's a basketball game going on, then go coach the team. Go run practices. Show up every day at 6 o'clock at night and run an hour and a half practice. And then you got your team to coach. Or be an assistant coach. Sit on the bench. Yell all you want. I don't care people on the bench yell at my kids. I got two boys. If they don't deal with my children, my children won't be on their team. My child acts up or doesn't do things the way that they're expected to do things by them, not me. And they let it happen, I'm taking my son off the team. I want my son to be challenged. Both of my boys, I want them to grow up. I want them to understand what life's about. But that's the part that's sad, man.
Okay. So that kind of gets the point across. Let the coaches coach and kind of just watch what you do and watch what you say. If you want to coach, then just go and let somebody know that that's what you want to do. But other than that, the people that's volunteering their time, let them do what they're out there to do. Well, we're going to go on to risk management now.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Coach Don Shockley. I'm the athletic coordinator at Flat Shoals Park. My baseball coordinator is Mr. Juan Smith. If you ever have any questions in regards to our program at Flat Shoals Park, you either contact me or Mr. Smith. You won't see me a lot during baseball season. That's the beginning because I'm also the track coordinator for Clayton County Parks and Recreation. What I'd like to talk to you now is about our lightning policy. Understand our lightning policy is put together to protect both you and your children and anybody who's spectating at the game. Our lightning policy begins that each coordinator at each park has a lightning detector that once the lightning gets them a certain distance to the park, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10 miles, our lightning detector will go off, indicating that now we need to take coverage and clear our fields. Once we start clearing the fields, we shut everything down for about an hour to make sure that the lightning's passing through. We check it every 30 minutes. If we get an additional lightning strike within that 30 minutes, then we just add more time to the time we have to sit out. Once we have the horn sounds indicating that there's lighting in the area, we ask that everybody quickly leave the fields and go to a covered shelter. Number one, what we primarily ask that you do is you get everybody into your cars. Once lightning has passed and we feel it's safe now to play, we will give out another horn twice, indicating now we can return to play. Blue skies in the local area, a lack of rainfall are not adequate reasons to bench or breach the 30-minute return to play rule. Lightning can strike up to 10 miles away from the rain shower, from the rain shaft of a storm. This is basically saying that lightning, we can detect lightning anywhere from 20 miles away. All right, and then that's our key now to basically clear our fields. If we ever get more than 3 strikes within that hour period, we will cancel all games and all practices activity. Once again, I may not have mentioned this before, but anytime we get light in that area where we are practicing or playing, we want to clear the fields for the protection of parents and kids and people who are also spectating there during that time of which we're playing. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to ask your coordinator at your park. Once again, this is Coach Shockley, Flat Shows Park coordinator. And remember, once again, our baseball coordinator is Mr. Juan Smith. Everyone have a blessed evening, and thank you.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving. Other topics of interest, park procedures and protocols. Some we've already gone over. Basically is the no drinking, no smoking, no cursing, your code of conduct, watching what you do and what you say around at the park, around the kids, around other spectators. And the lightning policy usually is the only other issues that we would normally have when it comes to weather. It's usually not hot enough to enforce our heat protocols. If it were, there are certain protocols that will go along with that. But now we'll keep moving to our coaches certification process. Some parents may not have heard from their coach this week. That's because our coaches have to go through a certification process. They attended the coaches clinic, which was this past weekend. They will go through NAY's company to do their insurance. They'll go through a series of little different classes online for that to get certified. And also they have to do a background check. Clayton County does a national background check, not just a local background check. So we do not hand our coaches any information on our kids until they have checked off every aspect of our process. If it's one part they haven't checked off, they do not get that list. So they will not have access to contacting you. Once they have cleared, then we will give them their list and they can start calling in order to practice. Practice will start next week, starting on Monday. Depending on your park and your team, you may not practice on Monday. It may be different days during the week. That will be according to your park, your team, and how many teams they have at that particular park. Game schedules will be handed out and finished the week of April the 1st through April the 4th. It could be any day during that week once they're done, but the week of April the 1st through April the 4th. Game schedules will not be done until that week. Fundraising. We discourage fundraising. Clayton County does not promote fundraising at all. we give you everything that you need to participate and play in our games at Clayton County. So there really is no need to fundraise to buy alternate uniforms or anything of that matter. That's not to say that you cannot do it, but if you do, you're doing it at your own discretion. Clayton County is not liable for anything that you do. If you give the coaches your money or Team Mom your money to buy new uniforms or excess things, you're liable for that. Clayton County has no recourse, will offer no recourse if you participate in these optional things outside of what we give you. So just remember, we do a background check on our coaches and team moms. We do not do a credit check. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about is learning disabilities and limitations. So if your child has any type of limitation or a learning disability or anything that would cause them to learn a different way from other kids, you don't have to necessarily let everybody know that, but if you will come to that coordinator of your park and let them know what's going on with your child, that way they can talk to the coach if you don't feel comfortable talking to the coach. That way at some point, someone can talk to that coach so that we can make sure that your child is getting the best. They're gonna learn the best way that we can for them. We're gonna do whatever we can to minimize the limitations that they have. We're gonna do whatever it takes. So don't feel like you can't come to us and talk to us about your child, or if it's something going on, just let us know. Even if it can be a slight limitation, a slight disability, or a big disability. We do not discriminate when it comes to that, but just let us know that so that we can make sure that we're looking at all ends and all facets when it comes to your child. Okay. I think my screen just skipped. All right. So at Clayton County, we strive to have fun and play hard. Let me see. I think my screen messed up again. Just a second. All right, I'm gonna back up for 1 second so that I can put that one screen back on that I know everybody didn't really get to see, which was this one. All right, so just in case, I'm gonna go over this. It just talks about your registration fees, what you get for your money, which was already mentioned, the jersey, the pants, the socks, the hat, and the belt, picture package, and a participation trophy. Numbers can be put on the jerseys for free, but we do not put names on the jerseys. If you do that, you have to pay for that. And each child should have their own helmet, glove, bat, and if they are a hind catcher, a cup. Calendar of events. First day of practice will be next week, the week of March 21st. Opening day will be the week of April 18th. And we say the week of because you could start on a Tuesday. That means during the week. The U6 and the U8 will play on Tuesdays. U10, U12, U14, and softball will play on Thursdays. Everyone will play on Saturdays. I'm gonna repeat that. On Tuesdays during the week, U6 and U8 will play. On Thursdays during the week, U10, U12, U14, and softball will play. Everyone will play on Saturdays. Picture days will be scheduled per your park. Tournament will begin the week of June 6th. And the championship game will be on June 13th. All of these are contingent on the weather. So if we have rainouts will be made up on the next available day that we can come up with for that particular game or games. So if you have a rainout, it may not be during that week that we can get that game in. It could be a week later, could be 2 weeks later. But with the first available time slots that we can get to fill those in, you will make up those games. So this will mean that some weeks you may end up having to play on another day outside of your regular scheduled days just to get those makeups in. Also, I'll repeat, we do use a system called remind.com and also RecTrack. RecTrack is what you registered on. So if you go through RecTrack and make sure that all your emails and phone numbers are correct, we use that to create our remind.coms. And those are how the county communicates to you. The coaches get your phone number and emails from us. So everyone is using the same information. So if you're not getting information from one person, you're not going to get it from the other because we all have the same information. Unless you know someone personally and you've given them another number. But we need to make sure that it's correct in our system so that you get all the information that the county sends out. Okay. Over that. Once again, if you have any questions while we're going, feel free to put it in the question and answer or the chat box and someone is answering those. I'm gonna show another short video right quick. Well, as long as it lets me play. Oh. My bad, I think I did that. All right, my videos want to act up. Okay. Videos don't want to play toward the end. But basically, we've gone over everything with everything that we needed to go over. So I'm gonna leave it up for a few minutes so that in order, if any of you have any more questions that need to be answered, someone is going to continue answering those on the chat. Saw something pop up. Okay, so with your uniform, your child needs to have a helmet, which is their batting helmet. Because of COVID, we ask that everyone has their own batting helmet. We used to provide like the coaches with, I think about 5 or 6 of them. But because of COVID, we're asking that you have your own batting helmet. You can go to any sporting goods store to get those batting helmets. And then bats are they go by your age. Bats will go by your age. You can go on the Clayton County website and you'll have a whole list in the rules and it'll tell you the bat sizes and what needs to be on those bats. All right, I'm gonna let them continue to answer your questions in the chat. But thank you all for joining us. And we hope that you all have a great baseball/softball season. And we will see you all next week. Thank you. Okay, everyone have a good evening, good afternoon. And again, we'll see you all next week at the beginning of practice at the parks. Thank you.